from a veterinary perspective, when we're treating these horses, one of the things that we want to do is we obviously need to manage the acute disease, and then we need to try and stop it from coming back. And the drugs play a role in that, but that's not necessarily the one-size-fits-all approach. Sometimes it's difficult to administer, sometimes we have issues associated with feeding, which is something we've increasingly grown to recognise with omeprazole. And so what we try and do is identify the risk factors that cause disease, and by identifying those, we try and address those risk factors and remove them from the horse's life to reduce the risk of the disease recurring in the future. When we have horses that are in a fairly high performance setting and it's relatively difficult to address those risk factors, or when we have horses that are developing disease in the face of having no risk factors, then their horses will tend to keep on the recovery, because that additional Pectin and Lecithin in the formulation is really important for their gastric health and really important for forming that alkaline slime that protects the mucosa of the stomach and the lining of the stomach. One of the common situations we have though is a horse like my horse here, Dr. D, who really doesn't have any of the risk factors for disease but keeps getting disease, and Dr. D here keeps getting glandular disease every competition season, and by the end of the year it's affecting him quite significantly in terms of his weight loss and his desire to work. And so we can't really pull the risk factors out because there's none there in his lifestyle. He's already got a good quality life, he has good quality feeding, he lives with other horses, he exercises a limited number of days a week, and we still have disease. And so being able to use something like the GastroAID range, and Dr. D's on GastroAID Recovery, during that high risk period to reduce that risk of disease further is something that's really, really effective in managing our high performance horses. And he's done fabulously on it so far. We've got a range of our horses on, some of them on GastroAID Recovery, some of them on Everyday, and we've been really happy with the results so far with how our horses look, how they perform, and how they're doing overall.
My name is Anna and this is my warm blood Astro. We bought him a little over a year ago. However, he was going super great. Then he started to get a bit upset. His behaviour changed dramatically. We got him scoped and found out that he had glandular ulcers. We started the search for a product. We then came across Kelato, GastroAID. We started him on this and it was really great. We also really enjoyed the education that Kelato gives and all the videos that we can watch about Sykes. We found this great in helping educate ourselves about ulcers in the future. Thank you, Kelato. We would not have been able to do it without GastroAID.
He will eat the product right out of his hand, so which I will show you. Just to show you, they love it. And look, you can actually see, look how sticky that's getting as soon as just saliva hits it, so you can imagine what that's doing inside your horse's stomach. So look, if you are competing, if you have an elderly horse or you have a horse who's not doing well, definitely check out GastroAID. Very highly rate the product, and we've been very happy with the changes we've seen in our horses at home.
My name is Kim Leewood. I'm here today with my horse Harold in the lovely Southern Highlands at GastroAID Equestrian Centre. And as you can see, Harold is having a good lick of our lovely Kelato Recovery product, which is another reason why we are here today. So Harold I've had for a couple of years and he's quite a stressy horse. He worries about everything in life. And I had a lot of trouble at the beginning with him trying to work out, what's going on. And I'd been using Kelato products for many years. Stand by. And I put him onto the Kelato GastroAID Recovery about a year ago now at least, and I can't recommend the product more than anything. He is a changed horse. He is much calmer, he's much happier, he's much healthier, he tucks into his food, he's less stressed about everything, and he's happy to stand and look pretty. His overall health from the GastroAID Recovery, I can't give a higher recommendation for this product. He loves it, he will literally eat it straight out of my hand, keeps it looking fantastic.
So this is Largo. He's my 7-year-old off the track thoroughbred. He retired in the beginning of September and I picked him up shortly after. He's transitioning from a track to hack. I cannot stress enough how much this has been a lifesaver. He'll literally eat it out of my hands. I did 3 weeks of Ulcer Shield. I then put him onto the GastroAID Recovery for 6 weeks, and then he's been on GastroAID every day ever since. As you can see, he loves it. He's typically quite a fussy eater. With this, he's gained weight, he's held his top line, he's just 1000% better in himself. You can tell how much it helps with the overall gut health. Everything from just his mannerisms being girthed, just bridled, saddled, lunging, everything like that. He's just got a much better work ethic. He's so much more chilled out and relaxed. He was quite stressy, used to pace paddocks. And yeah, it was really awesome to hear after being a grade 4 out of 5 ulcer horse that he is completely ulcer free now. So I thank Kelato very, very much.
Hi, my name's Jess and this is my horse Mac, and this is our Kelato story. So when I first got Mac, he was really underweight. I didn't think anything of it at first because I knew he'd come from a racing background. However, after a few months of having him on full feed and not seeing any improvement in his condition, we started to think there might be some bigger issues at play, and that's when I started to look for a supplement to support his total gut health. And I came across Kelato GastroAID. After putting it Mac on, we'd seen such big improvements in his condition. He'd started putting on weight. He was much more willing to move off my leg under saddle. His coat started to get a bit shiny, and he was also much more playful out in the paddock with the other horses, which was a really great sign that I was starting to get a happy and healthy horse.
GastroAID Recovery is formulated for horses with gastric ulcers, those recovering from ulcers, or those who are under a significant amount of stress. For stomach health, GastroAID Recovery contains antacids, which help to neutralize or buffer stomach acid and reduce irritation to the stomach lining. Most importantly, GastroAID Recovery provides the coating agents Pectin and Lecithin, which form a gel-like layer over the stomach wall to protect it from acid burn and strengthen the mucosal lining. For hindgut health, the prebiotic binds to harmful bacteria within the gut. This helps to reduce the risk of disease and subsequent conditions such as diarrhea. The prebiotic also helps to enhance the horse's natural immune response to infection. And finally, the live yeast probiotic helps to stabilize hindgut pH levels and stimulates the growth of beneficial microbes in the hindgut. This helps to improve fiber digestion and enhances feed conversion efficiency.